What is direct assault under Article 148? Okay. We have two assaults under the revised penal code. Your 148 speaks of your direct assaults and your 149 speaks of your indirect assaults. Okay? Ito madalas to nangyayari sa mga PNP, okay? O kaya mga public officers. Okay? There are two ways to commit the direct assault. Okay? Meron tayong first form, which is without public uprising by employing force or intimidation for attainment of any of the purposes enumerated in defining the crimes of rebellion and sedition. And number 2 is without public uprising also, pero by, ito kasi, force or intimidation. Ito naman, by employing force or by seriously intimidating or seriously resisting, okay, in person, in authority, or any of its agents, okay, while engaged in the performance of official duties or on the occasion of such performance. Pansin ninyo, dun sa first form, ito lang, limited lang dyan. The crimes of rebellion, sedition. Okay? Pero dito, while engaged in the performance of official duties or on the occasion of such performance. Okay? Punta tayo sa first form. Doon sa first form, we have three elements. Number 1, the offender employs force or intimidation. 2, the aim of the offender is to attain any of the purposes of the crime of rebellion or any of the objects in the crime of sedition. Sabi ko nga sa inyo, sa direct assault, dalawa lang ang sanga niyan. Rebellion or sedition, o kaya yung isa naman, performance of official duties. Okay? At pareho pong walang public uprising, syempre. So, that is your first form. Yung unang sanga, nagfo-focus yan sa rebellion tsaka sedition. Pero dun sa second form, ganun din. Pero, it focus to the actual performance of official duties, okay? Or by reason of his past performance of official duties. And of course, these are the acts. Okay? Attack, force, serious intimidation, and serious resistance. Ganon din, wala pong public uprising. Kailangan bang alam ng offender na yung tao ay may authority or is an agent of the authority? The answer there is yes. Here, the offender knows that the one he is assaulting is a person in authority or his agent. So, paano bang attack? Siyempre, alam nyo naman kung paano attack. Okay? An attack includes any offensive or antagonistic movement of any kind. Okay? Of action of any kind. Alam nyo na yan. Lagi nyong tandaan, these are the important principles in your direct assault. Merong karagdagan or additional penalty kung ang inatake mo ay isang minister or isang ambassador. Okay? Sabi dito, in your Republic Act number 75, any person who assaults, strikes, wounds, or in any other manner offers violence to the person of ambassador or public minister in violation of the law of nation shall be imprisoned not more than 3 years and fine not exceeding 200 pesos in the discretion of the court in additional to the penalties that may be imposed upon under the revised penal code. Okay? Next one. Question. Is it necessary that the offended party in the first form, dun sa first form, again, rebellion, sedition, isipin nyo yon. Okay? Kailangan ba dun sa first form of direct assault, yung person in authority is or his agent? Kailangan ba na yung offended person is the authority or the agent? The answer there, okay, the answer there is it's not required. Okay, the first part of Article 148 does not require it. If the aim of the offender is to attain an objection of sedition, the offended party may be a private individual or person belonging to social class. Paano naman yung second form? Ito yung madalas na nangyayari sa mga ating kapulisan. Okay. Here, yung second form, yung na-enumerate natin kanina, ito. Ito. Yan. Ito. This is the second form. In your second form, lagi nyong tandaan yung itong apat na to. Attack, force, serious intimidation, and serious resistance. In the case of versus Tabiana, sa case na to kasi, sinuntok yung policeman doon sa breast niya. Okay? Sabi dito, hitting a policeman in the breast with a fist is not direct assault. Okay. Sabi dito, the words in Article 148 relating to the employment of force appear to have reference to something more dangerous to civil society than a simple blow with the hands of at the moment is taken into custody by a policeman. Ang nangyari kasi sa case na ito, okay? Ang nangyari kasi sa case na to, habang inaaresto yung akusado, okay, syempre, nasuntok niya yung isa sa mga kapulisan doon sa kanyang breast, dito sa dibdib. So, ngayon, nagkinasuhan ngayon nung pulis yung akusado for direct assault. Okay, sabi ng Supreme Court natin, hindi yan direct assault. Ang direct assault is it should be with reference to more dangerous to civil society. Ang simpleng suntok lang sa dibdib mo while in the act of arresting, okay? While taking into custody yung accused is just masyado yung magaan para sa isang direct assault. Okay? Lagi niyong tandaan, okay? Sinasabi ko sa inyo, apat ang direct assault. Attack, force, serious intimidation, at serious resistance. Kung intimidation at resistance ang na-employ ng offender, it must be serious. Okay? Pero kung attack at saka force, hindi kailangang serious. Okay? Example, in the case of US versus Gumban. Dito sa case ng US versus Gumban, ang ginamit is force. Sabi dito, okay? Sabi ng Supreme Court, laying hands upon a person in authority while in the performance of his official duties constitutes direct assault. Ano bang nangyari sa kaso na to? Okay? Dito kasi sa case ng US versus Gumban, si akusado pumunta sa municipal president, yung mayor noon. At nagprotesta siya, okay? Na yung karabaw ng kanyang kapatid, okay, ay kinuha at ipinunta sa police station. Okay? Because this carabao was destroyed the plants planted in the area. Okay? The police station happened to be within the zone affected by the quarantine. In this case, the municipal mayor promised to intervene in the matter and to find out whether the carabao could be withdrawn from the zone affected by the quarantine. No, pagkasabi ng mayor to, bigla niyang sinampal yung mayor. So, the accused gave the mayor a slap on the face, striking his left ear. So, nasampal niya yung mayor. So, the municipal president or the municipal mayor Was a person in authority then in the performance of his duties inspecting the quarantine of animals. Sabi ng Supreme Court, the force employed need not be serious when the offended party is a person in authority. A municipal mayor is considered to be a considered to be a person in authority. Okay? Paano naman, ma'am, pag intimidation or resistance? Kailangan bang serious? The answer there is yes. Okay? Ma'am, paano kung agent? Serious pa rin ba o kahit hindi serious? The answer there is yes, serious pa din. When we say intimidation or resistance, dapat serious, agent man yan o hindi. Person in authority man yan or agent lang. Okay? It doesn't require na, kung agent ka, kailangan intimidation lang, hindi. Basta dapat seryoso pag intimidation at resistance. Yung resistance, ma'am, paano yan? Paano nangyayari ang resistance? Resistance may be active or passive. Paano ang passive resistance? Passive resistance is when the one who is placed under the arrest throws himself on the ground and the resistance makes it necessary to raise him up or drag him along to jail. Okay? Nagkakaroon ng passive resistance ko. Di ba pag nag-aresto ka ng tao, hindi siya sumasama sa'yo. Humiga siya. At instead na maglakad sana, nakahiga pa din siya. That is passive resistance. Pero what we are requiring here in direct assault is not a passive resistance, but must be an active resistance. Yung resistance na nakikita nyo dito ngayon, dito sa screen nyo ito, nakikita nyo yan? Hindi lang dapat seryoso. It must likewise be active resistance. Diba na-explain ko sa inyo kung paano passive resistance. Ang kailangan dito is hindi passive, kundi active resistance. Example, sa case ng US versus Samonte. Okay. Habang nag-aaway si A at si B sumigaw. Police! Police! Sabi niya. At isang pulis ang pumunta doon sa scene at nakita niya si B na tumayo. Ngayon, si policeman, he was about to arrest A. Sabi ni A, huwag kang lumapit dito dahil papatayin kita. Okay? Habang papunta si policeman kay A, okay? Si A, sinubukan niyang saksakin si policeman with a knife. Okay? Pero hindi siya nasaksak. That is serious resistance. Paano naman ang serious intimidation? Example ng serious intimidation. Example is the case of People versus Diama. Okay? Paano to? Dito sa case na to, is merong baril. Tapos tong baril na to nakatutok sa isang military police captain. Okay? Tapos itong baril na to hindi lang nakatutok sa military police captain, kundi yung military police captain is also in the performance of his duty. Okay? This is a serious intimidation, as if you don't like the police captain to work and to perform his duty. This is a threat to the life of the police captain. Okay? Next one. Sino Sino-sino nga ba ang mga person in authority under the law? Okay? Sino-sino nga ba ang mga person in authority under the law? Lagi nyong tandaan to. Lagyan nyo ng star. Ganyan. Why? Because, lagyan nyo ng star yan. Because lumalabas to sa board exam nyo. Who is a person in authority? Who ang tanong. Sabi sa batas, any person directly vested with jurisdiction, whether as an individual or as a member of some court or governmental corporation, board, or commission, shall be deemed a person in authority. Example, barangay captain, barangay chairman. Okay, yung mga yan. Yung mga public officers po natin, depende yan. Okay, when we say public officers, nagiging person in authority sila. Okay, if they are vested with power to govern. Okay, example, division school superintendent. Okay, yung mga teachers po natin, mga guro, teachers, professors, and persons charged with supervision of duly recognized schools, colleges, and universities. Okay? So, kung sinampal mo yung teacher mo dahil binagsak ka niya, that is direct assault. How about an agent? Who is an agent of a person in authority? Dito naman tayo. Ito yan. Kita nyo to? Dito naman tayo. An agent of a person in authority is one who by direct provision of law or by election or by appointment by competent authority is charged with the maintenance of public order and the protection and security of life and property. Example, mga councilors ng barangay. Okay? Yung mga tanod, mga barangay leader. Okay? So, lagi niyong tandaan, agent is yung mga by election, by appointment by competent authority, at kung charge sila ng maintenance ng public order. So, ang isang pulis ay hindi siya person in authority. Ang pulis po ay isang agent of a person in authority. Okay? Okay? Example ng mga agents of a person in authority is your policeman, your municipal treasurer, your postmaster, your sheriff. Di ba yung sheriff sa mga korte? Yan. Your agents of the Bureau of Internal Revenue. Mga confidential agent of Malacanang. Yung mga chief tanod. Barangay chief tanod. Yung mga yan. Okay? So, those are the examples. We'll continue. Let's go naman sa you read these cases, ha? Please read the cases. Indirect assault. Pero before that, we have the so-called qualified assault. There are two kinds of direct assault kasi. Your simple and your qualified assault. Kailan nagiging qualified yung assault? Okay? A direct assault becomes qualified kung merong weapon during assault. Okay? Number 2, when yung offender yung mag-aatake, okay, yung gagamit ng force. if the offender is a public officer or employee. At kung if the offender lays hands upon person in authority. Ma'am, kailangan ba sa weapon baril, kutsilyo, ganon? Okay. Sabi ng 1 Viada 203. Okay. Weapon includes not only firearms and sharp or cutting instruments. It also includes mga stones, mga bato, clubs. Ito yung clubs yung gamit sa pag-golf. Or any other object which some physical injury may be inflicted. So, paano naman yung offender is a public officer or employee? Kailan nagiging offender ang isang public officer or employee para maging qualified assault siya? Example is the case of People versus Monson. Dito, yung offender is a teacher. He committed the crime of assault against another teacher. Okay? Last one is your indirect assault. Anong indirect assault? Ang indirect assault, it has 3 elements. These are the elements. Yan. Flash on your screen. Number 1 element, that a person in authority or his agent is the victim of any of the forms of direct assault defined in your Article 148. Number 2, that a person comes to the aid of such authority or his agent. Number 3, that the offender makes use of force or intimidation upon such person coming to the aid of the authority or his agent. Lagi niyong tandaan na nagkakaroon lang po ng indirect assault kung merong direct assault. So, hindi pwedeng nagsosolo ang crime na indirect assault. Ha? Tandaan niyo yan. Magkakaroon lang ng 149 kung merong 148. Okay? Question. Is there a crime of indirect assault, I should say, if a private individual who is aiding, yung private individual, example si Pedro, isa siyang private person lang. Tapos tinutulungan niya yung policeman sa pag-aresto ng isang akusado. And si Pedro ay inatake nung akusado. Is there an indirect assault? The answer there is no. It cannot be indirect assault because the policeman who is being aided is not a victim of direct assault. The policeman is in the performance of duty, that is making an arrest. Okay? Question. Always remember also that to whom is the assault directed in the crime of indirect assault. In your indirect assault, the victim here is not the person in authority kasi yung person in authority dapat siya yung direct assault. Okay? Or yung agent. PIA or agent. PIA is person in authority. Okay? PIA or agent dapat merong direct assault. Okay? Yung tumutulong doon sa direct assault, you call the act against him committed o yung crime na committed against him is your indirect assault. Okay? Next one is your Article 150. Okay? Your Article 150 is your disobedience to summons issued by Congress, its committees or subcommittees, constitutional commissions, its committees, subcommittees, or divisions. We have 3 constitutional committees, constitutional commissions, I should say. your civil service, your commission on election, and commission on audit. Okay? Ano yung mga acts na punishable under 150? Meron pong 5. Okay? These are the 5. What are the acts? Number 1, refusing without legal excuse to obey summons of Congress, its special or standing committees and subcommittees, the constitutional commissions, and its committees, subcommittees, or divisions, or any committees or commission, chairman, or member authorized to summon witnesses. Okay? Here, remember, dapat na walang legal excuse yung refusal mo. Pero kung may legal excuse ka, legal yung excuse mo, example, na COVID ka, hindi ka naka-attend kasi may COVID ka, hindi ka naka-attend ng meeting, hindi ka nakapag-witness kasi namatayan ka, o kaya naman na-disgrasya ka, then that is a legal excuse. Paano naman to? Refusal or refusing to be sworn or placed under the affirmation while being presented before legislative or constitutional body or commission. Here, ang requirement sa'yo is mag-swear ka. Sworn or placed under affirmation. So, in this situation, okay, can you refuse if you have also justifiable reason? Okay? Of course, yes. Of course, yes. Pero, tandaan nyo dito. Ito. While being presented, ibig sabihin present ka nun, bakit ayaw mo? Okay? So, in this situation, you are already present and you will now be presented as a witness, or you have to confirm something but you refuse, then you will be liable for Article 150. Bakit? Okay? Because pwede ka namang mag-sworn dun eh. Pwede ka naman mag-affirm. You can stand before the legislative or the constitutional body. At kung meron ka namang hindi alam later on, you can just say na I have no knowledge. Okay? So, your refusal will not be justifiable kung ganun lang. Basta ayaw mo lang, hindi pwede yan. Another one is refusing to answer any legal injury or to produce any books, papers, documents, or records in his possession when required by them to do so in the exercise of their function. In this one, example is the case of Arnold versus Nazareno. Dito sa case na to, when Arnold refused to divulge the identity of the person to whom he gave an amount of 440,000 pesos, whose identity the Senate is investigating committee. Okay, nag-investigate kasing Senate. Okay? Tapos yung Senate, they believe that Arnold knows the person. Okay? In this one, sabi ng batas, okay, other than the contempt that can be imposed by the body, the Senate, he can also be liable for Article 150. And lastly, you have your restraining another from attending as a witness in such legislative body. Ito naman, pinipigilan mo yung ibang tao na mag-attend as a witness. Okay? May interest ka man o wala, as long as nag-restrain ka, you can be liable for 150. And lastly is your inducing disobedience. Ganun din, the same din. But you induce someone na he will disobey the summons. Okay? Issued by the court. So I will